Just working on my single leg pike squats or pistol squats today. And you saw before I actually started doing the pistol squat, I did some kind of forward knees over toes leans. It's kind of like a warm-up. And then I also tried to focus on getting my knee over my toes when I do the actual pistol squats. And the reason for that, and I've been working on it quite a bit over this past year, is to strengthen the ligaments, the tendons, right around the knee, because that's very, very important to make those very strong and resilient. And for the longest time, I always thought you had to keep your knees from going beyond your toes. So I always thought I had to keep the weight on my heels and make sure that knee was always a 90-degree angle. When in fact, that's not actually the case, right? Because you want to make sure the blood gets into those tendons. You want to make sure those tendons can handle your body weight, right? Because if they're not adapted to handling your body weight, they're actually more likely to tear, or there's actually more likely of an issue to arise, right? So you want to make sure that your knees can handle your body weight in that type of position. Obviously, you got to work up to it, but that's something that I realized over this past year, as I noticed like my knees are not what they used to be when I was younger, because I used to play a lot of sports, a lot of basketball, and I noticed over these past years my knees are just not what they used to be. I started having more knee pain, and then once I started doing this, I feel like it's actually starting to help save my knees, because they do feel a lot better. I'm still working through it. There's still a little pain here and there in my left knee, but I think that's probably because of muscular imbalances and improper like hip alignment, glute weakness. So I'm still working on that, but I think one of the keys is just getting your knees over your toes, to push blood into those joints, into that, I think it's like the synovial fluid. You kind of want to break that up, like, just get movement into that joint. I'm not sure if that's, technically the correct scientific explanation, but it's more about, just bending, maintaining that mobility right within that joint as well. I forget his name, but he's called Knees Over Toes guy or whatever, and I started really studying that, looking at how he trains and how he came back from ACL injury, and he did a lot of work that focused on getting his knees over his toes. And you see a lot of athletes doing that these days just to prevent any potential issues with the joints around your knee. And it also helps with jumper knee and patella tendonitis and all that. So that's what I've been focusing on. Now let me get this next set in on my left leg, because that's the problem one. So I want to focus on that. As you can see, that one's getting a lot better. You know, that one is definitely still the weaker side, or just the less confident side, right? Because that's the knee problem. But it took me a while to work up to that point for that one-legged pistol squat. Started with a lot of split squats, a lot of assisted, you know, deep knee bends, because the goal is to get your hamstring right on top of your calf, right, for the full mobility. Kind of like when you're kneeling on the ground, right, like you did as a kid, right? Your shins were tucked up underneath your glutes, and then your calf was pressed right up against your hamstring. So that's the full range of mobility that I'm constantly trying to go for with these deeper squats. And it took me a while to build up to that, because I started earlier this year. Whew, but it's a tough exercise. So every day I do something to kind of help build that connection in the knee, that joint, also that mind-muscle connection, and then just trying to constantly strengthen the ligaments there, right, to make the knees bulletproof. So that's just a little something that I have been implementing into my physical fitness routine. That personally I feel has definitely helped, since, you know, I walk so many miles a day. It definitely really helps to protect those knees by making my knees more adaptable to handling my body weight, you know, especially over a longer period of activity. All right, so that is just a quick little video today on what I'm doing to help maintain my health, and also just a simple reminder that I should keep doing this every single day as part of my workout routine. See you guys in the next one.